I pay very close attention to my pee. I'm convinced I have something
All the
serious all the time. I tend to forget that I take B vitamins occasionally and freak out. It's like that Gatorade pee.
Welcome once again to Noah's Snark, where two former religious types and current snarks take a look at religious media on its own terms.
I'm Hillary.
And I am Josh, aka Brother Love.
I don't know where that could possibly...
Oh, we're getting there, don't
Okay.
worry. And before we start the episode proper, as always, we have to talk about any hits, any misses that we might have made from the last time.
No hits or misses, but I watched a documentary recently, or I guess it was like a CNN special. No, it was Dateline.
Okay.
A Dateline special.
Okay.
And apparently, what's her fucking face from the Omega Code? Her name is...
Catherine Oxenberg.
Catherine Oxenberg is pretty much the reason that whole Nexium cult ended up getting raided by the police. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
You don't know about the sex cult? This Nexium?
Oh, with Superman?
Yeah, with Allison Mack.
Allison Mack, yeah.
Yeah, apparently, woman's name,
Catherine Oxenberg.
Catherine Oxenberg's daughter, ended up getting pulled into it.
Okay.
And so she went full, like, tiger mom.
Good.
And, yeah, and, like, went above and beyond and actually got this cult disbanded.
Nice.
And now he's arrested, now Allison Mack's arrested. Her daughter's out, but still obviously brainwashed.
Right. Cult.
But
That's
yeah,
how cults
but I
work.
was like, I know who that is because like we just talked about her. That's so weird. Yeah, so good on her. She's a badass. Yeah.
A YouTuber that I watch just released a video about the Omega Code on the day that we released our episode where we're saying we're gonna do the Omega Code.
Yeah.
I was like, son of a bitch.
That's awesome though.
Yeah, it's fine.
Synchronicity.
Much shorter than ours, so it's fine.
No competition.
No competition. We go in depth.
Kind of.
Okay, so that's the things.
Yeah, I thought that was a fun little
Yeah, I did not know that. I didn't know she was involved in any way.
She's very involved. She actually she was the one who got her daughter into it because before it was a sex cult. It was like a career, self-help, like entrepreneurial type of...
so they brought you in on the business.
as most cults start. They start with something positive and something that's beneficial and helpful, and then slowly, form into something lascivious.
Yeah, and if you want to be in like a sex orgy club...
Yeah.
That's fine. It doesn't have to be a cult. Just like get a bunch of people who want to fuck you. That's fine.
The thing. Nobody in a cult thinks they're in a cult, and nobody running a cult thinks it's a cult.
No, I think some of the people running it know.
I don't think they do. They really believe in what they're talking about. They think that they're just being...
I never expected that you would be the more optimistic of us.
That's not optimistic. I think they're insane. I think they're insane. I don't think... nobody's like, I want to start a cult. It's literally like they slowly... No, it's the addiction to the power and getting more power and yeah.
I'd have to look into this further.
These girls got branded with his initials. Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
up.
there's nothing, why can't you just have a nice group of women, I presume, maybe men too, I don't know what he's into, that just have sex with you, and, you don't have to brainwash them or brand them. You can just live it. R. Kelly, besides his various problems, apparently he's head of some sort of weird sex cult.
Yeah.
Where he, captures girls.
Literally holds women hostage.
Yeah, but, why can't you just have girlfriends?
There's not enough control in that.
That's the weird part to me.
It's not weird. It's mental disability. It's literally unhealthy.
Because no one cares if you are wealthy or otherwise influential person.
Yeah.
And you've just got a string of women who...
Psychologically healthy people don't do this. That's not the problem.
Right.
It's not a thing that just happens to you.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Why is everyone who's got a sex cult got to be all weird and culty about it?
They don't. There are lots of, you ever heard of a Key Party or the 60s?
Oh, yeah. Doesn't Atlanta have, a big sex club?
Yeah. There's, what's it called?
I have no idea.
Somebody at work was talking about it recently. Yeah.
And, those people are presumably...
just living normal lives.
Living normal lives and also go to sex clubs.
Yeah.
Groovy.
Go, like, share spouses. Fucking fine.
Do your thing, bro.
Follow your heart.
Speaking of being indulgent, what are we doing today?
How is that a segue?
It's not at all. It's one of my well-known masterful segues.
If there's one word that I associate with Seventh Heaven, it's indulgent.
Exactly.
It was like either watch this or eat a big chocolate cake. I did both.
If you're not aware of what Seventh Heaven is, because you were hiding under a rock in the 90s, or you're not from this country,
right,
or some other reason,
right,
you were held in a sex cult until 2008.
Oof. Feels like a trigger.
Seventh Heaven was a TV show, and it started on what used to be called the WB Network in 1996, and it ended in 2007. And it centers on the Camden family, led by Reverend Eric and housewife Annie.
Yes.
There's 5 kids originally, hence the name Seventh Heaven. There's 7 in the family.
Whoop. Did not even catch that. I did not realize. Is that why it's called Seventh Heaven?
I mean, part of it, and then think Seventh Heaven is a phrase already.
It is a phrase already. That's what I thought it was.
It with 7 of them.
Oh my god, I had no idea.
But then later they have a pair of twins to make it 7 children, so they can still stick to the theme of the name.
Right. Yeah, sure.
One thing to note in particular is it has a bitchin' theme song.
I know, it's really fun. By fun, I mean terrible.
But also fun.
But as somebody who barely watched the show, if watched it at all, I have no memories of the show really, except for knowing who they are and like it being a part of pop culture. I knew almost all the words to the theme song.
Absolutely.
Somehow. Yeah.
I watched the shit out of the show.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that, like a lot of the stuff I watched as a youth, I found it irritating and melodramatic and overly wholesome in a way that was annoying.
Like, yes.
Like Degrassi?
Saccharine level of sincere and earnest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes, like, I can feel it in my jaw, you know, when your jaw tenses up when you eat too much sugar. It's literally like, it's like, oh. Yeah, it can be cringy and it can be cheesy. But
yeah, I compare it to either Degrassi, The Next Generation.
Never seen it.
Or Care Bears.
You don't have a lot of things you can compare this to then.
Not a ton. But I remember as a child, my relation to it is similar to my relation to Care Bears as a kid. I watched the Care Bears movie every day. Every day.
Just the movie, not the show.
Just the movie. I didn't know there was anything more. I just saw I had the second Care Bears movie, the one with Darkheart, and I watched that shit every day because I hated it. I was 5, and I was like, this is horrible. I hate this, and I'd watch it every day. Just out of spite.
So fucking weird.
I was the weirdest child.
Yeah.
And as a teenager, I was the same way with Seventh Heaven. It's like, boy, this sucks. Both, just my head resting in my hands.
Yeah.
So it was a whole thing. We're moving on to the first impression section. We basically already did mine.
Yeah.
What did you expect going in? What did you get? How do you feel?
I mean, I already knew what it was. I don't have first impressions. Have you
well, your first impression can also just be an overall impression. What should we expect you to say on this episode today? I guess I should change the word. It's not really first impression, it's more impression.
I don't know, man.
Okay,
I don't know.
That's fine. You don't have to know. While watching it, did you realize, oh, this is an absolute classic?
No, of course not. It did, solidify my love of the 90s. That will never stop being a truth.
Yeah.
The first episode that we cover, which is the pilot, is firmly in mid-90s.
Oh, absolutely.
Being 96.
It's 96, yeah.
Yeah, which was a great year for me. I'm pretty sure I peaked in 1996. As a human.
Emotionally?
No, like intellectually, emotionally.
Weren't you 11?
I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
It was a great year.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and then, puberty makes everything worse, and everything after that is just slowly dying.
As we learn in this episode.
Yeah, it's true. Ugh, so uncomfortable.
So we're starting with episode 1, like she said, the pilot. It's called Anything You Want. And our very first scene is an introduction to the family. Papa and Mama Camden wake up in bed and embrace each other because they're about to get fucking busy.
Yeah, this is a frisky couple.
They're frisky.
Yeah.
I mean, they have 5 kids, I would hope.
It wasn't from...
It wasn't just like...
I was hoping it's from desire and not...
Right. Every 2 years, they have sex once to have a child.
No, exactly. It's a weird Amish thing.
But they are about to get busy, but they're interrupted by Ruthie, the smallest child, who's just being nosy.
So cute.
I thought Mom told a dirty pun at this point. Did she? It was possibly unintentional.
What did she say?
Ruthie says, "What's going on in here?" And the mom says, "We were just getting up."
No,
and I was like,
that is you projecting. No, that is you being gross.
Okay. The child does at least knock first.
Yes.
And this is a theme because all the kids do the courtesy of knocking. Because the next oldest child, Simon, comes in and he's curious about food. Mm-hmm. He's hungry.
Yep.
He's a growing boy. First time. Lucy is the next, and she's also hungry. And then we have Mary, who is easily the most famous of these people.
Jessica Biel.
Who,
by the way, I had to look it up, because she's supposed to be 14 in this. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, there's no way she's 14. Mm-hmm. She was actually 14.
Yeah, but Lucy is 15, and is a year older than Jessica Biel is.
I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. She's just so much shorter. Jessica Biel looks 20 at 14.
Yeah, she was part of the theme in this episode is that she's really tall and like...
Yeah, but everything about her looks mature. It's so bizarre. Yeah.
It's
anyway, small side note.
But Mary comes in, and she's just wondering where everyone disappeared to. And then she asks Mom if she needs help with breakfast. Making it, obviously. Lastly, the oldest child, Matt, comes in, and he reminds the other children that it's Saturday, and this is the day their parents sleep late, which guilts them all into leaving the room. Yeah. And that's sort of our introduction into the family, because there's 5 fucking kids here.
And they all come in order of birth.
Or
opposite, I
Reverse
guess.
order.
Reverse order of birth.
I know we already talked about the 5 kids, but holy shit.
That's too many.
It's so many kids. There's going to be more.
No, and they're also respectful and nice, and it's unnerving.
Yeah, it's strange. And then comes the kick-ass theme song.
7 Heaven.
When I see your happy faces. You ever heard the Christmas shoes, or more appropriately, Patton Oswalt's bit about Christmas shoes?
Yes, but it's been a long time.
Okay, so you remember the part where he talks about the guy sings with the sort of voice that lets you know that, like, I'm a good Christian man, but if we go back to the La Quinta Inn, I will lay pipe.
Ugh.
That's this guy.
I guess so. What were you doing while you were watching this? You have a lot of sexual energy going towards this TV show that I did not feel whatsoever.
No, it's just because Patton Oswalt was making fun of the guy's like somewhat raspy, like I'm trying to do my sexy voice singing.
Well, and he's definitely with Christmas shoes.
Yes,
like he definitely has a sultry, like weird,
right.
So he's just like, here's the thing. Voice.
I'm a good Christian man, but I will fuck you.
If I'm gonna guess, this guy is closeted gay.
And this guy, part of it just says to me like the same. It falls in that category of cool guy but wholesome guy.
Yeah, maybe.
But like,
I also just think that's literally like I don't think there is anything like there is no such thing as a good Christian person who doesn't do anything wrong and doesn't have like. I don't think that's a real thing.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But this is more the presentation he's making. You can present one
I get zero sexuality from this voice. Zero.
It's not about sexuality. It's about a little bit of edge.
No, none of that either. No.
All right, well, we have different takes on his voice.
I hear vanilla.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not saying the sex would be good.
No, vanilla isn't just boring.
No.
Nothing behind the scenes and no real belief in yourself.
Yeah.
We had the opposite thoughts on that.
Okay, cool. So after that little bit of introduction to the family and the theme song, it is cooking time, and Annie and Eric share a moment of peace as they bring out the food to the waiting children. There's wine. Mm-hmm. We're supposed to realize this is their life, and it's a dreamy. Like, the camera literally does a haze.
Yeah.
And there's music.
This show exists to make you feel bad about your family.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. When I was writing this, because I'm not sure I've ever seen this pilot before, when I was writing this out, I thought it was going to be that this was Annie's sort of fantasy about how her life really is, and they were going to do a hard cut to, like, all the kids making noise and running around, and there's a mess. And she's just, like, sitting in the kitchen, like glassy-eyed, like, oh my god, there's so many kids
That would
here.
be the parody of this.
That would be this in any other show.
In reality, yeah.
But no, it turns out this is just legit. Her life is a fantasy.
Yep.
Her real life is a real fantasy.
I wonder how many people can blame this show for their pill addiction.
They bring the food out to the family, and Simon, who is the only blonde in the family. I guess his mom is blonde?
The mom is blonde.
Okay.
The mom is blonde, Simon's blonde, and then Mary slowly becomes more blonde over time.
Well, she can dye her hair. She's old now. Not now, but later.
Later, yeah.
Because we know Jessica Biel is not blonde.
No.
Yeah, that's one thing that we know for sure. Simon is eager to say grace over this meal, and he hurries his parents into letting him do it. He does eventually get a chance to say it, but he mostly uses it to ask God for a dog.
Yep.
In his own words, if there really is a God, I know you'll find a way to get me that dog I wanted.
Which is a fun thing to say in front of your dad, pastor.
Yeah, your dad.
Reverend or whatever.
He's a reverend.
Yeah, his reverend father.
The dad is annoyed that Simon's gone over their heads to ask about the dog, but he wishes him luck nonetheless.
Yes. I also like the idea that the only time he could ask God for a dog is at dinner, because he's so, like, eager to, like, do the prayer. Like, you could have done, that's an all-day thing. You can just
sit there and pray.
Yeah, you could do it in your head, you could do it, you don't have to wait for your family to say it's okay to say it out loud. Whatever.
Mary and Matt, the two oldest kids, argue about him going on a date, because Matt told Mary that he'd help her with her foul shot. But Daddy Camden stonewalls him, and makes him play pool with him instead. Apparently this is
he already had plans to play pool with his dad, too.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a thing that they do regularly.
Well, they talk about it, and he says that he can go on his date if he wins? Is that what the solution here is?
No, like he wanted to go play pool and talk, or whatever. Not necessarily do it instead of the date, but do it before the date, or something like that. But, like, not blow off the date. Not blow off his commitment with his father.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Okay. It could be either. I wasn't exactly clear on what the timeline here was.
Yeah, I couldn't really figure it out either. Because the show starts at breakfast, and then we don't see them. This is dinner time that they're talking.
Yeah, it's dinner time.
Yeah.
I know part of the reason I thought the dad was making him do the pool instead was because he said he couldn't help Mary with her shot. He's got a date. And then the dad said, "Oh, you've got time." He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're playing pool with me." He's like, "What? I have a date."
Well, I mean, he said you had time to help. He's like, "You have time to help your sister."
Yeah.
And
he could just be saying
which he did.
Right.
Kind of.
Yeah. So that I don't know. It wasn't clear, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
They're going to play some pool.
Pool's later after the helping Mary, right?
Right. So at the same scene, Lucy is helping Ruthie, baby Ruthie, cut her food, and she's told that she's looking more and more adult every day.
She freaks out.
She freaks all the way out. And she insists that she's not a baby, okay?
Yeah.
Which is the ultimate baby move.
It really is. And then runs off.
She runs all the way away.
Her bangs make me so unhappy.
Why?
I was given bangs like that, like, around that time period. Fucking hated them. The weird, poofy, like, donut bangs.
Oh, yeah.
They're way too far out. Yeah. I hate those bangs.
We cut to after dinner, and Mom is working on fixing the garbage disposal, which makes Eric make out with her. He climbs under there, and he's just like,
They cannot stop.
We're gonna fuck under the sink.
I'll go anywhere with you, is what he says. Which I guess includes under the sink.
Yeah, she's apparently been picking up skills and hobbies over the years, particularly during pregnancies.
Right.
And Simon comes and interrupts them and reminds them that a dog is much less expensive and burdensome than a new child.
Yeah, which is hilarious. I guess he understands something about the birds and bees.
Yeah. Dad is going to go deal with Lucy and her puberty problems. We find out that's what her problem is.
Yeah.
While Simon and Mom are going to talk about the dog situation. We then go upstairs. There's a lot happening in this episode.
This episode covers a lot of ground.
Yes.
Which I guess it has to with 5 kids, and you're trying to follow everyone's storyline.
Especially in a pilot, you have to give everyone a storyline. Otherwise, it's like, why is this character here?
You have to develop character. All of the characters at once.
The other episode we're doing today has essentially one plot.
Right.
And it's much easier to keep track of.
Very much so.
And I remember most of the episodes being like that.
Right.
Like, not, let's follow 8 storylines.
Right, or like one character takes precedence each
and then
episode.
you just rotate.
Right.
So that's what I remember the most. But this one's going to be really complicated and confusing because it's the first one, and we have to get a sense of all these kids.
Yeah, squish everyone in there.
Squish them all. Squish, squish. So we cut to upstairs, and Lucy is standing on her head because she's trying to get her period, which took me a minute to figure out just because I never did it. I don't know.
That's not a thing, by the way. Mary tricked her.
But her dad comes in the room and sees her standing on her head, hoping to become a woman, and she gets weirded out again and runs away.
Dad!
Yeah. He asks her bluntly, while she's in the bathroom and he's outside of it, if she started her period, But she's hearing none of this, and so Dad just sort of leaves, because he's clearly not getting through to her right now.
Right.
In the meantime, Simon, the little boy, makes his case to Mom about why he should have a dog. And she tells him that the two parents, her and Dad, have discussed it, and no dog is happening. But Simon gets a little dig in there, and he says, good thing for me, you have a mind of your own. And it's like, damn.
Manipulative bastard.
I know, like, it's crazy. Outside, Matt and Mary are shooting hoops, but Matt is smoking. Mary points out the inevitable, that he's going to get caught. But he's got a foolproof method of spraying his mouth with freshening spray after he smokes.
Foolproof.
This would work exactly 0 times.
Correct.
But it's fiction. I guess we're supposed to believe it.
Well, also, it doesn't work.
It does not work.
So...
Turns out, Mary is actually a fine shot, and she doesn't really want to practice her shot. She wants to talk to Matt about dudes.
Yeah, which makes me so uncomfortable.
Oh, it gets worse.
I know it does. I don't understand the scene at all. I don't know who wrote this. I'm like, this is not something you talk to your brother about. At least not in this fashion.
But she's taller than all the boys, because they're a bunch of shorties. And she's never kissed a boy, but she really wants to, but she doesn't want it to be awkward. So she asks Matt to show her what she's supposed to do in the setup for the best porn ever. Yeah. But Matt is more weirded out than turned on like a fucking normie.
I'm so glad one of them was. I was like, oh my god, are they going to fucking kiss in the first... Is there going to be incest in the first episode?
No, Matt's a fucking loser.
Is this the first episode of Game of Thrones?
He's in the ideal situation, and he's all like, oh, this is weird, pussy.
It was like the brand, like Offset on the Brady Bunch, everybody banging each other.
Right.
Did they actually date in real life? I feel like they should have.
It's 100% possible.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously.
I don't know. I guess we would have to look into it.
We would.
I'm not going to bother.
Me neither. We'll assume yes.
Like Dexter and
right.
Lady Dexter.
Yes. This is the brother-sister.
Jessica.
I don't remember.
Her real name is Jennifer. But Dexter and his sister on the show.
Married in real life.
Married in real life.
Yeah.
Although they weren't related in the show.
Yeah.
It was still weird.
David Cassidy date what's the girl from...
This I don't know.
The Partridge Family too? I think they hooked up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, Mom and Dad now switch problems, so we get another dog conversation. And Dad tells Simon that he's not responsible enough for a dog, but Simon is all grown up now, says him. Mm-hmm. Simon convinces Dad to agree that if some homeless dog finds itself in their yard for no other reason than pure coincidence, they can keep that one.
Yes.
And Dad agrees. Said, fine, you're a strong negotiator. That's what we'll do. If a dog just ends up in our yard for no reason, mm-hmm. You don't lure it in. You don't trick someone.
I love that he covered those bases too. Yeah. He's like, this is fine, but you're not allowed to trick a dog into our yard.
Right.
Right. Or lure it.
Right. But back to Matt and Mary. She is practicing her hands, where she's supposed to put her hands.
With her brother.
Where she kisses a boy.
Yep.
And Matt tells her multiple times not to kiss him. And she insists that she's not going to, but she needs to know what to do with her hands. And again, Matt is really killing my boner. Yeah.
You're cracking yourself up.
I'm just saying. Okay.
You were in a mood when you watched this. I'm covering my face. I'm like, oh god, I've never been this uncomfortable.
I was just amused by the very clear porno setup this was.
It really was.
Like in a movie. Yeah. In a porn.
No, totally.
This is like, oh, brother.
This is incest porn.
This is incest porn stuff. Yeah. She's like, I don't know how to kiss boys and I don't know what to do with my hands.
I'm 14.
I'm 14. Or, let's
You're 28.
Most porn isn't usually... No one pretends to be underage because it's weird. It's a weird thing and you don't want to appeal to that demo.
Right.
But there's an incest demo. Yeah. And it was like, yeah, I'm 18. I haven't kissed a boy and I really want your help. Yeah. And he's like, okay, I'll help you. And then it just escalates. That's what this setup is, except this is a real show.
As someone with a brother, this makes me sick to my stomach. Absolutely nauseated.
Mm-hmm. But she closes her eyes. And she puckers her lips just as Dad sees this happening because he's taking out the trash. And this was the first laugh of the night for me. Because his Barry real Watson, name is Barry. Yeah. Matt, played by Barry Watson,
right.
says, Dad, this isn't what it looks like. And he just stares at them glassy-eyed. and says, "That's a relief."
No, it's perfect. It's a perfect reaction. I give him props for that comedic timing. Meanwhile, like, he literally just walked up on his two teenage daughter and son, and she's got her hands kind of up, and she's closed her eyes, and she's puckering and leaning into Matt. There's really no other way to interpret that.
And Matt happened to have his eyes closed because he was confused by this whole situation.
Yeah.
And just saw Dad and was like, oh, God.
How could this get worse?
But Dad leaves confused and concerned, and the children are both terribly embarrassed, as they should be. Mm-hmm. Except for the fact that this is the perfect situation, and Matt's being a... but that's fine.
You know he's getting off screen. Later, when she's of age. Back to Lucy's menstrual problems. She's upset because she hasn't gotten her period yet, and Mom reassures her that it'll happen eventually. For everything, there is a season or something like that. Which is a him. Now, as a lady, a lady person, I am one of those.
Is this a thing that girls concern themselves with?
It not in my world.
Okay.
But I do know that there are girls who were, like, desperate to be older than they were. I was not that.
Okay.
I cannot relate to somebody wanting to have their period. It's the fucking worst.
Yeah, because it's like, I can't wait to get my period because I love a week of misery. It reaffirms my femininity. Like,
right.
It sounds horrible.
I don't know. It's like there were definitely some girls who were, like, excited about, like, puberty and getting older and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Not me. Yeah. No.
Yeah, because
I still would like to not get my period.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's just, it was strange to me because having a period sounds pretty fucking terrible.
It's terrible. There's nothing fun about it.
So I don't understand why a kid would be like, let's do that. That'll be great.
Right. I don't understand
I guess it's just a rush to adulthood. You just really want to be a grown-up now?
I guess so.
But you don't become a grown-up because you get your period.
No. So, I don't know. I had no way to connect to this person. She was one of my least favorite characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
I think I only liked Ruthie, actually.
Like, in both episodes? Like, total?
Yeah, total.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. The parents are fine.
Yeah.
The parents are fine.
Yeah. So, we cut now to Dad and Matt playing pool, and Matt gets crushed again, as he always has every time they've played, apparently. Mm-hmm. They have a chat about his smoking, which we both called as soon as he brought the kid here. When I saw this happen, I was like, oh, the chat he wants to have is about him smoking. I was like, all right.
Obviously.
If he's going to be a smoker, Dad's not going to let him spend his money on it, so he takes the allowance money that he gives him away. And tells him that he's got a job for him if he can keep this one.
Yes.
He also makes him go to church the next day. I'm not sure what. I guess Matt has stopped going to church.
We assume. Or that he's not consistent.
Yeah. The next day we're at church, and Simon is asking for a dog even during the song Amazing Grace.
Out loud.
Yeah, he's just like, give me a dog!
Does he know he can pray in his head? Meanwhile, I relate to him. Mm-hmm. I relate to him so much. Mm-hmm. I want a dog so bad.
But Dad goes to work preaching, and I just started to zone out, but it doesn't last very long because Dad unknowingly mentions the everything has its season.
Right,
like
the psalm.
The psalm that Mom said to Lucy. So Lucy freaks out again and aggressively runs away from the church.
Yeah, she is.
Dad has no idea what's happening.
Bubbling with emotions.
Yeah, Dad's just
also, I love this song. The psalm, it was turned into a song by the Byrds in the 60s.
That's the one Annie was doing. She was doing the song.
Yes.
Yeah, because she couldn't get the lyrics. She was like, I don't know, something, something, something. Yeah. Everything has a season, blah, blah, blah. But she's a reverend's wife, so presumably she's heard some of this before anyway.
And she's from the 60s.
That's true.
Yeah, she knows it. It's just like one of those songs that, like, every line is different and you don't always remember what order they're in. Mm-hmm.
But back home, Annie explains the confusion to Eric, and he's now going to go talk to her. And his wife points out that that's a really dumb idea and he should just leave it because she is a raging tornado of emotion.
Yes. All hormones all the time.
And the last thing she needs is to hear from her dad about her vagina.
My favorite thing about this is that he seemed confused as to why he shouldn't be the one to talk to her. She's like, do you know what it's like to have a period? Like, why are you the one? And he's like, well, it's a beautiful thing. She's like, it's also scary and awful. And yeah.
In his relatively mild defense, they have 2 daughters, only one of which has gone through puberty and apparently handled it very smoothly.
Yeah.
He literally just, like, apparently she just asked him one day to go to the store and pick some stuff up. That was the end of the conversation.
Mary. Yeah.
Classic Mary, very direct.
Yes.
So he's just was expecting it to go as smoothly, and it's not, and he's just confused and upset. I can't help her. She's crazy. Okay. Mary convinces Lucy to go on a jog with her. And while they're talking, she points out that she's been really upset because she has PMS. And Lucy's very excited about that idea.
This girl baffles me. Who are you?
She's like, you just have PMS? She's like, really?
You think so?
Am I just going crazy because this is my first time experiencing this and I don't know how to handle it yet?
You know what's fun is that's also a thing. It's like every single month when I'm like, why am I angry? I've had, like, it's been well over a decade. And it's still a shock every month and it's a realization every month. I'm like, oh, right.
I'm
this
just pissed
thing
off.
that's happened every single month for my entire adultish life.
Right. My entire post-adolescence.
Yeah.
Lucy insists on taking a tampon with her on their jog, just in case.
It's so crazy.
It's so strange. Mary points out we're going to be 2 minutes from the house.
Yeah.
You could easily come home. But Lucy's like, nah, I'm going to take it with me.
Yeah, just in case.
Like, why would you even take it with you? What are you going to stop on the street?
Where are you going?
Like, I'm not the expert on how tampons work.
You do it in private.
You don't just, oh man, Mrs. Jenkins, sorry about this.
It's not a sidewalk activity.
So, whatever. That's weird.
It's so weird. Also, neither of them put their hair in ponytails to run, which I thought was weird too.
Well, you have to look glamorous when you're running.
I guess.
Mary's into boys now. She's got to have them locks flowing.
I guess. She's also an athlete, so...
Yeah. It can be both. She's just jogging around the block. She's not at a meet or anything.
Yeah, I guess I would get ridiculously red and sweaty from just a block run.
Well, Lucy did too, you saw.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
They do run. Lucy's like, hey, I'm dying, oh shit!
She also has slightly shorter legs. I think that had a little bit to do with it. Her gait was shorter.
True. Ruthie now gets a little bit of personality, finally, and asks Dad if Mom is cooking anything, but she rejects the Dad's offer to cook, because he's not a very good cook.
Yeah.
But no one tells him, because they love him anyway.
Yeah, because they don't want to hurt his feelings.
Right.
I think that's really cute.
Yeah.
Also, she has, like, my dream hair.
Oh, that, like, super curl?
Yeah, spiral curls. They're gorgeous.
On the jog, Mary is honestly showing off a little bit, but she's pretending she's encouraging Lucy, who's very far behind and very tired, and she's going
being
backwards.
A good sister, but also a teenager.
Yeah, she's like going backwards and still like outpacing her easily.
Yeah, he's like, come on.
You can do it. But also, like, let's be clear.
Yeah.
This is a show off.
A little bit.
Not to say I've never done it.
To no one in particular. Yeah, because there's
just your sister.
Yeah.
Like, I'm superior than you at this.
Right.
Get used to it.
She's just mocking her.
But because she's turned around and is a little bit mocking her sister, she literally runs over a guy.
Yeah.
She crashes into him. They both fall down. It's horribly embarrassing.
And she knows him.
And she knows him. This is Jeff. She has a crush on Jeff because she invites him over to help her with her shot, which, if you remember, was the same move she used to seduce her brother.
It's true, and it didn't work then, so she's moving on.
That's right.
Yeah.
And in the porno version of this just is like the cousin who the sister brings in.
He stops by. And he's like, what are you guys up to?
Like, oh, we're just practicing my shot. And she gives little fluttery eyes.
Yeah, my foul shot, which also is weird to me. I've never, we always called it free throws. I think it's more normal to call them a free throw.
Well, we're from the South. Like, maybe it's...
I don't know. I don't know if it's a regional thing.
Maybe.
And whatever.
I don't know. Maybe the writer's from Canada and just calls it a foul shot.
Because they don't play basketball up there. They don't know.
Or they call them different things.
They don't play basketball up there.
I'm sure they have basketball in Canada.
Not professional.
Toronto, the Raptors.
Damn. You got me. What are you doing knowing stuff about sports? Get out of here with that. Wait, I need more water.
Yeah. So while Mary is making her move on Jeff, Lucy takes something out of her pocket. I don't even know, but she drops the tampon that she carries with her.
She had like jammed her hands down in her pockets, I guess, out of awkwardness.
Oh,
and then she went to take her hand out, and it looked like she had pulled the tampon out on purpose. I'm like, is she trying to show off with the tampon now? Who is this girl?
Turns out no, because she drops it.
Gets embarrassed.
Is very embarrassed, grabs it, and runs home. So it's like, Lucy.
She doesn't grab it. She literally just runs away. Mary picks it up and she's like, whatever.
That's right, Mary.
Yeah, Mary's like, oh, a tampon. And just like sticks it in her pocket nonchalantly.
Very casually.
No, I love her. Her confidence is out of this world.
Mary's the best.
Yeah.
The guy was a little weird because he was going to pick it up, then he realized it was a tampon and didn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
Which is strange.
No, that's so normal for that age.
It is normal, but I always thought it was weird.
It is weird.
Like, I'm sure...
It's stupid.
I'm sure I haven't been as casual about it as I am now, but I don't remember ever really thinking it was super strange. Like, ooh, a tampon, I don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
It's a tampon.
It's not used.
Right. It's in its wrapper. You're going to be fine.
It didn't fall out of her shorts.
Yeah.
In the other way.
Right. But yeah, I was always pretty non-weird. It's just like, whatever.
Yeah, it's just families.
Everybody poops.
Yeah.
It's like, who cares? But that's fine. People my age are still weird about it.
No, I know.
Like, oh, I gotta go. Like, if you tell me to go pick up tampons.
I'm not getting tampons?
Yeah, if you tell me to go pick them up for
aisle?
you,
yeah.
I'm not gonna know what to do because I've never done it.
You gotta send a picture.
Yeah, you have to send a picture.
Get this box.
But I'm not gonna be weird other than that.
No.
I'm just gonna be like, you're gonna have to give me a lot more.
What if my friend sees me in the tampon aisle? Like, oh, he's gonna think you're a lady. That's what's gonna happen.
Like, you're gonna have to tell me a lot more than Kotex.
Right.
But besides that, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's just...
Stupid.
Whatever you call them. But yeah, as Mom said earlier, Lucy is 12 years old and crazy.
Yeah.
Her words. Now, on his way to the new job helping an old woman around the house, Matt mentions to Dad that he may want to have the talk with Mary. Dad looks mortified at the proposition, but he explains to his parents that Mary's curious and really is interested in boys now. And they have a rule that she can't date anybody that's older than her.
Yeah.
But Mom's okay if they were to smudge it just a little bit. A little older and a little taller, so she can find boys she likes.
Right. Which is fine.
Which is fine. A year or two is not going to be a big deal, which is what Mom says.
If you're all in high school, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Right.
There's probably a distinction between, like, a senior and a freshman. But it's not...
I say if you could have been in the same high school, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Even when one of you gets over 18, the other one isn't.
Mm-hmm.
If you're still in high school, you're fine.
Mm-hmm. But there's something weird about, like, a senior, especially guy, going after, like, a freshman girl. Like, I don't like this.
It doesn't bode well for him and his personality, probably. Yeah. But at the same time, they're probably on the same intellectual, like, emotionally intelligent. Yeah. I'm
with you there. I just, like, we should discourage that guy.
Right.
Like, just don't. Let's not.
There was a guy in my high school who dated somebody that was still in their middle school, and that was weird.
That was too weird.
He died of a heroin overdose. So I think it was a sign. There was trouble underneath. There was trouble in the waters.
When Mom says she's okay with Mary dating boys who are just a little older than her, Matt thinks it's a terrible idea because, in his words, you have no idea what guys my age are like. He is 16, Mary is 14. He would be the age that's the older boys would be.
But the 14-year-olds are not better.
Yeah, I know. On the way out...
I'd say not till 30. And even then, questionable.
On the way out the door, headed to the new job, he runs into Jeff, who Mary invited over, and tells him that he can't help her after all, because Jeff is busy, and she's his sister. Yeah. Jeff's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you're busy.
Freak out.
He does. He freaks out a little bit.
Yeah.
Inside, Mary comes in, and Dad tells her that they'd be comfortable with her dating boys who are a year or two older, but Mary's upset with Matt because he ratted her out.
Matt told you, didn't he? And runs out.
She runs out.
Yeah, that's a theme in this family. Yell, run away.
Secret, secret, secret. At the new job, Matt finds out that it's a setup, because the woman he's here to help is very sickly and old, and she has lost a lung to cigarettes. She's got an oxygen tank. Yep. It's a whole thing. She runs around freaking out looking for her cigarettes, but she asked to bum one of his because she can't find her own.
Most important in this scene is Eileen Brennan.
Is it?
Who is Mrs. Peacock in the movie Clue, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it was the most delightful surprise to see her in this role. I love her so much.
Excellent. I would not have recognized her. Back at home, Lucy gets her period and we can all celebrate. She's even stopped acting out. She's just passive now because she's finally bleeding out of her vagina.
Ugh. I hate all of this.
She's like totally calm now. She's like, oh, yeah, I'm in great pain. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm a woman. My life is ruined.
Now, Matt is running errands with the old lady, and he refuses to stop at the drugstore to buy her cigarettes because she clearly doesn't need any more. and Simon is holed up in the attic, watching for stray dogs, and is sad because God isn't real.
He does keep saying, if God's real, which I love.
And there's no dog, clearly.
No dog, no God.
No dog, no God. And Mary prepares to make her move on Jeff when she's interrupted by her older brother and tells him that she'll date whoever she wants, the fucking snitch. If that means my own brother, so be it. You're gonna deal. It is revealed that the old sickly woman was actually doing Dad a favor, and she doesn't need the oxygen at all, and this was all an elaborate setup to get Matt to quit smoking and force him to come to church for the next 6 months in a row. And we now realize that Dad is the ultimate manipulative bastard. No,
it's true. It's such an Arrested Development move. It's like, you've watched that show, right?
Yeah.
Remember the guy with with one arm?
Yeah, always leave a note.
Yeah, always leave a note.
Mm-hmm. He brought this guy out to pool. Part of that was a manipulation in and of itself. He got him a new job that he forced him to take, and then made him agree that if he loses this job, he has to go to church for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Turns out the job itself was a fake.
Right.
He was only there to help this woman who was acting as though she was very sick.
Right.
And lost a lung to cigarettes.
Yes.
To make Matt quit smoking.
Yeah.
And to make him come to church for 6 months.
And it can be argued that this is all, this is the better form of manipulation.
But it's still, blatant, hardcore manipulation.
It really is, yeah.
If it were me...
Straight lies.
Yeah, if it were me, this is my dad, my dad was significantly worse than this. But if that's me, I'm burning the house down and leaving. Dad, you son of a bitch.
I'm getting cancer out of spite.
Right. I'm gonna have lung cancer at 26.
Exactly.
He's gonna be like, you should get treatment. Be like, no, fuck you. Remember that time 10 years ago?
Don't tell me what to do.
10 years ago, you set me up, and this is all for you. And then I die at 28.
Exactly.
It's like, you're never gonna forget that time you tried to manipulate me.
Ugh, the
fuck you, Dad.
Cut off your nose to spite your face mentality. I understand it.
Cut off my entire life to spite my dad.
Yeah. Cut off life support because you hate your father.
This'll teach him. Live hard, die young. Fuck you, Dad.
Which will be your last words.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck you, Dad.
Alright. Mom comes home with a dog. Because she went to the pound just to look. No one goes to the pound just to look.
As the father points out.
And she couldn't resist picking up Happy the new dog.
Which I am obsessed with immediately. It's like my dream dog. I love shaggy little weird dogs with pointy ears, the pony flap ears. Mm-hmm. Oh god, I love Happy. It's
trained already?
I love Happy. Love him.
Dad is a little pissed at her for undermining their decision.
Yeah.
But Mom points out that Happy was almost put down and she couldn't just leave him. And somehow he finds this very convincing.
I actually kind of like this discussion that they have. Because, they keep their cool. It's, open communication. And, his question is, I just need to know where the communication broke down. She goes, the moment they told me he was being put down tonight. And he's like, ugh.
Fine.
All right.
Yeah,
this is pre-cell phones. So she couldn't just, throw him a text or, call him and be like, look, this is the situation. Mm-hmm. So she acted in a moment impulsively.
No one acts absurd in this situation.
No.
They keep it cool in front of the kids.
Yeah.
He asks about her later when they're alone.
Right.
But he's just like, what happened? We talked about no dog. You have a dog now.
Yeah.
And we know we're not going to get rid of this dog.
No, exactly. We're not showing our son who's obsessed with dogs and then taking it away. Yeah.
The part for me that's not super convincing is it's going to be put down. I get that. But also other dogs that were going to be put down, first off. And secondly, if you got a dog at a later date, 6 months from now, that dog doesn't then die.
Right.
So it's really... It's not super convincing.
It's convincing to me, because if I felt something for a dog, I'm like, oh my god, this dog, I love this dog. And they're like, it's about to die. I'm like, ugh. This is why I couldn't, I volunteered at the Humane Society for a while. Mm-hmm. Luckily, my allergies prevented me from really ever going back, because they're too bad. Mm-hmm. But if I had my own place, I would end up with, being one of those people who hoards dogs.
Yeah.
Not because I have a mental health issue, but because I can't imagine turning down a dog that could potentially die.
Yeah, part of the reason I don't go to a pound is because I will come back with a dog. I will
come back with 1 to 5 dogs. Speaking of being poor, I can't even, get a house for myself, and I'm like, I'll take dogs. Yeah. I'll feed them instead of myself. Yeah. Then they can eat my body when I die of starvation.
It'll last a couple weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe. They'll find them. They'll be rescued.
But yeah, so that's the whole thing. And I'm not against her choice. I'm just saying, like...
No, I get it.
There is going to be a dead dog in the situation.
Right. Realistically, this is not really putting a stopper to the death of dogs. You saved
one dog, and another dog that you won't get now because you won't be searching later.
Right.
Will then die.
Yes, but also it's kind of like, if you can help one thing, why not help one thing?
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at her.
Right.
Neither is Dad.
No, and it's the best dog.
The best dog. So Jeff comes by, Mary's date, and Matt scowls, and they watch from the kitchen. Him and Dad watch from the kitchen. It's funny. Jeff is out there, and they're playing basketball, and he's showing off a little. He's, like, dribbling in a very flashy way. But it's fun to me because she's probably better at basketball than he is.
Yeah, probably.
So
they don't mention him being on the team or anything.
Yeah, it's just funny to watch guys try to impress girls who are better at the thing they're impressing you with than you are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like me trying to play Street Fighter to show off my prowess. Fun fact, I'm horrible at Street Fighter.
So am I, but I'd probably beat you because I'm a supreme button masher.
You're right, and I don't button mash.
Right.
So I'm a lot slower, more meticulous, and you'd beat the shit out of me probably.
Smash. My brother refused to play with me.
Yeah. Did you beat him?
Yeah.
Yeah, your brother's better than me.
I beat him, but he also had all the moves memorized.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
your brother's better than me.
He's great at it. He could play. I'm like, he still doesn't beat cheating.
That's my point. So I am horrible at it. But can you imagine if I'm like trying to show off to a girl and like, you want to play Street Fighter?
Right.
She's just gonna win. Like, what am I showing off here for?
Somebody tried to show off to me by playing Galaga, but he went first. I'm like, oh.
Oh, honey.
I was so good at Galaga for so long. I'm not great at it anymore, but it just destroyed him.
And at least he has the advantage of not knowing you're good at Galaga.
I told him.
Oh, okay.
We worked together. Like, no, I'm really good at this game.
Okay.
He's like, you can't beat me. I'm like, okay, come on. Fun.
That's funny. Okay, so this guy knows that Mary's on the basketball team.
Yeah.
Of the varsity team.
She got, at a 14-year-old, she's on the varsity basketball team.
Not JV.
No.
She is well ahead of her curve.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably better at this game than him. But he's like, look at the dribble I can do. And she's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Whatever, teach me how to kiss.
I'm just here to kiss with boys.
Put your hands on my face.
Jeff eventually leaves, and Matt goes out there to talk to her about her crush on Jeff. And he says they can discuss it in the future if she still likes him in 30 days. And she easily agrees, because she liked him since she was 10, so it's easy to wait just a little bit longer.
What's 30 days more?
What's 30 days more? It's been 4 years. I
thought that was really cute.
It was. And Matt was like, oh, God. My best friend's gonna fuck my sister. And I could have been me! It's like, damn it!
He'll regret it eventually.
Yeah, he'll get there. So while Matt goes out to pick up the grandparents at the airport, because this whole episode's been setting up that the grandparents are coming to visit.
Completely forgot about the grandparents.
Dad tries to weasel his way into Mom with some complimentary words.
Ugh, phrasing.
No, I did it on purpose.
No, I know you did, but
But he gives her a nice big compliment about how, like, you are the heart in my stone, or you're the light of my life.
Have I ever told you how much I appreciate all these things, blah, 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 you making dinner for 7 people every night, which is a great thing to point out and be, but he's clearly trying to get some.
He may as well end it with, like, and that ass, though.
Yeah, no, she's like, no sex until after my parents leave. I was like, Ah,
damn it.
Saw right through that, guys.
He's like, damn it, you got me. What about, like, kinds of sex?
Yeah. Well, what's our line? What line are we drawing?
Like, you mean just PIV?
Right,
or like,
right.
Do we have options?
Go.
But once the grannies arrive, Mom's mom reveals that she's dying of leukemia, and she's just here to hang out with her family before the Big C takes her out. It's all very emotional, and Annie cries, and Grandma cries, and everyone cries. And we end with the family going outside to play with the new dog.
Yeah, that mom got over finding out her mom's dying quick.
That's what it's like to be an adult with 5 kids.
I guess so. But she was really upset, as one would be, especially knowing that she's really close to her parents. And then, like, next scene, she's walking outside laughing and smiling, and all the kids are playing in the front yard with the new dog. Yeah, everything's perfect as always in this.
Everything's perfect as always, except Mom is dying.
Yep, Grandma.
The end. Yeah, Mom is dying.
Yeah, Mom of Mom.
Mom of Mom. So let's do a quick best first for this episode.
Okay, you go first.
The best is the entire Matt and Mary dynamic. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was very uncomfortable.
But, yeah.
And it was the setup for the best porn ever.
You know there's porn based around that.
Oh, 100%.
What do you think? What would the Seventh Heaven porn be called? I'm not going to look it up because I know it already exists. 7 Minutes in Heaven. Yep, that's exactly, yep.
Or,
69th Heaven.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, that's pretty good. I was trying to think of something for heaven, though.
Yeah,
what's
so
the
was
sex
I.
word for heaven?
I was trying to think.
I'm not having any luck.
Nothing.
And the worst was Ruthie having no personality, period. She had a little bit when she said her dad was a bad cook, but no one wanted to hurt his feelings.
They didn't. She got the least amount of it. They didn't put as much attention on her and developing her character.
Which is fair, because she's a small child.
And it's the pilot, and there's so many characters.
They did their absolute best.
Yeah.
But that was probably what I'd say. Wait, sorry, I take it back. The worst is the dad being manipulative bastard.
Oh, right.
Where Matt should get cancer and die out of spite.
With the clear forming of his spiral into
right.
Drug addiction.
This should have been a show about how Matt spirals out of control because his dad manipulated him one time.
This perfect family. That first episode is this perfect family, and the dad makes one poor choice, and the rest of the series is about how that has affected his son negatively.
It brings ruin to everyone.
That'd be hilarious.
Ironically, Mary's the problem child.
Kind of.
No, she is. You don't know.
Oh, you mean later on? Yes. I'm like, in this episode?
No, not in this episode, but in the going forward, Mary's the problem child.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. She has a mind of her own and goes off and does
She does have confidence, and that's not liked in a girl.
That might be what it is.
Not cool.
But yeah, you don't know this, and we don't really get any hint of it in the two we watched.
Right.
But Mary is.
We'll cover it in later days. I would love to watch this entire series slowly over time.
Okay.
My best worst would be best. That dog made me so retarded happy. Its name being Happy, ironically.
Is also happy, yeah.
I guess not ironically, but anyway. Worst would be it's the kind of opposite of yours, the very near brother-sister makeout.
Yeah.
Still turns my stomach thinking about it. I've never been more uncomfortable.
No, I know.
Ever in my whole life.
It was let's be clear. Speaking really, and that is a character who's really into incest porn.
Right.
It was super fucking weird.
Yeah.
I was like, no, there's no way he should be.
How was this approved for the first episode of a new Christian series?
And even if we're assuming that the brother is a real person, there's no part of him that wouldn't just leave unless he's a little bit into his sister.
Yeah.
But he would just be like, oh, you're gonna no, I'm gonna go no.
I'm gonna go with the hell no.
I'm gonna say no, but I'm also gonna leave this place so you can't.
Yeah. Go watch some movies. That's all you need to know.
Right.
Yeah.
No one watches TV in this show. Ever.
They probably aren't allowed to They probably aren't allowed to.
It's just I don't even know if they have a TV.
I mean, nobody really watches that much TV on TV anyway, right?
Yeah, I know.
They're always up to shenanigans and adventures.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, no. My favorite part, a dog aside, is Eileen Brennan's little cameo.
There you go.
Does that character...
I don't know her.
Come back?
I don't think so.
Oh, she's great.
She might. She seems like she's clearly a parishioner in the church.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
She's the best.
She's the best.
I want to watch Clue now, but I can't watch it until September. It's a September movie.
So, we're on to the next episode. We're jumping forward 6 years now, and it's January 2002.
Yeah.
The episode...
Not the next episode in the series, but the next one we're doing right now.
Yes.
We decided to do one from season 6.
Yes. This episode is called Suspicion, and it's very special.
It is a special episode.
That's why I chose it. I remember this one.
No, that was a good choice.
The opening scene of this one is a 13-ish-year-old Ruthie sneaking into the house with another girl dressed in traditional garb of some sort. I say some sort because I'm not the culture wizard over here, but let's just say it's Muslim looking.
Yes.
Right. I'm not an expert on where she's from or whatever.
Oh, we also find out that that's true.
She is, in fact,
she's a Muslim.
But if you saw it, you'd be like, Muslim.
Yes.
I don't know where.
The hijab.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But Muslim. This will matter. I'm not just talking about her dress because it's a thing. It's going to matter.
Well, should we note now or note later that this season started about it was September 30th, 2001 is when this season started.
Oh, okay.
So the whole season is post 9/11.
Right.
And this is one of the last episodes of the season. And that matters, as you will see.
Right. We are also introduced to the 2 twins that I mentioned earlier that round out the Kid family now.
Yeah, my reaction to it was like, who are these guys? Where did they come from? Whose children are they? Mary's?
No, they're moms. Dad has to explain to them how to eat because apparently they're messy.
Yeah.
They are blonde.
Very blonde.
So Simon's not alone in the family as a blonde anymore.
Right.
Also, Simon's a blonde with like a dark black base.
I find
his hair
unsettling.
Yeah, it's like his eyebrows are like colored blonde after being colored black first.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I wonder if he looked like a natural blonde in the first season. Also, the mom looks like 10 years younger than she looked in the first season.
Yeah,
which is, I guess, what money does for you.
But yeah, they're both holding up really well. We have new blonde twins. And Dad and the twins come downstairs while Ruthie and her friend hide around them. They're literally moving around the kitchen, escaping.
That dad would be very easy to kill.
But
he was not observant.
Happy the dog betrays them and starts barking, so they flee to the garage for still reasons unknown.
Mm-hmm.
While Dad is suspiciously looking around the house because he heard some things, Mom comes in the kitchen door and spooks him. He goes, ah! He's like, were you... What's happening? She's like, what's happening? Why are you freaking out? But he chalks it up to her having spooked him in some way. So in the garage, Ruthie tells her new friend that they'll be safe here. Then the theme song starts again.
Yeah.
And it's time for Seventh Heaven.
Seventh Heaven.
When I see those happy faces.
Nailed
My
it.
version.
That's exactly accurate.
Nah, he's... When I see those happy faces. See the rap?
It's not Louis Armstrong.
For fucking. That's my fucking rap.
He doesn't have that kind of rasp.
Smiling back at me.
I don't think he has that raspy of a voice. Maybe I need to re-listen to it.
It's a very minor.
Yeah.
It's minor. I may be exaggerating the point, but I still think it's there.
Okay. I think he might be going for a little bit Eddie Vedder on the edges. A little
It's Where Can You Go? The go.
Where can you go? So it's still a little like a Muppet.
Back to the episode proper. Lucy and Mary's room is a goddamn mess. And Lucy yells at her older sister as she tidies things up very slightly. She tells her not to borrow her things and make a mess without asking. But Mary denies any wrongdoing and says that her makeup is missing as well. In the same vein, Matt asks little brother Simon if he took all the sheets off his bed, but Simon denies he's done anything and points out that his pillow and Game Boy are missing as well.
Also, why would Simon take your sheets off your bed?
Yeah, that's real weird. We found out they're kitty sheets, and apparently the family shares sheets.
Hello Kitty sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they share sheets.
Yeah, I guess that, yeah.
Because they're like, just go grab another set. We all, it's like...
Well, I mean, they probably have multiple sets for different beds, but also that was he's sleeping on, he's a large dude. He's sleeping on a twin bed.
Yeah, well. So doesn't want to have too much luxury.
I wonder how many twin beds there are in the house.
There's got to be 7.
Do you think they're all on twins?
Yeah. If they're not giving Matt a twin, they're not giving anybody anything
bigger.
Well,
it seems like he's just like back at home from somewhere, because isn't he like 26 at this point?
He would be 22.
Okay.
Give or take.
Yeah.
So 21, 22. He's in med school.
Gotcha. Does he or Mary ever leave the house and come back? Or
Mary had already left the house by this point and come back.
That's what I got that vibe.
She lived with her grandparents for a while.
Okay, because she was trouble?
She was trouble. And then Mary, after Jessica Biel gets tired of being on Seventh Heaven, just leaves the show almost entirely, making very occasional special appearances.
Gotcha.
There is an episode later where her husband, who she was on the show to meet and marry, is on the show, but Jessica Biel's not in the episode, but she's there. Her character is there. Mary is there. They
talk about Mary as if she's there, but...
He literally leaves the room to go talk to her at one point.
Right.
It's like, I'm gonna go talk to Mary. It's so weird.
It's so stupid. She's off doing her movies and stuff.
Yeah, there was some controversy about the show when she was getting older and doing Maxim photographs and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is not really the image we're looking for Seventh Heaven. Yeah, she's like, well, here's the thing. I don't really want to be here.
well, we'll both just move on then.
Right. And so there was some tension and it was some stuff. And eventually she wasn't on the show very much. Although she did show up, like I said, occasionally.
Yeah.
For special stuff.
Gotcha.
But But I just
Very
remember that
special episode.
I just remember that one weird episode where he was like, him and his family, his wife is there, and she's constantly talked about and mentioned, and never on screen. And it's just so weird.
TV writing.
Yeah. While the kids are dealing with their own missing stuff, Mom is looking for the missing food because apparently she bought enough for a week and it's all gone now.
Lunch meats.
She bought enough lunch meat for a week and it's all missing now. And something weird is going on. That's what we've concluded. All of the people in the family eventually conclude that it's the only person who's not present.
Yeah.
Ruthie. And she's up to something. And just as this happens, Ruthie is telling her friend that no one will ever find out that she's here. Mm-hmm. And her family comes in and busts her.
Right.
Ruthie is a terrible person smuggler.
She is also pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Pretty dumb to
I'm
think
going to go in and take all their stuff.
Right. They're not going to notice. All of their stuff is missing. That's just not how you keep a low profile.
You took Matt's Hello Kitty sheets.
You took someone's sheets off their bed and you think they won't notice?
He's grown accustomed to them.
Simon's Game Boy, that will go noticed. Yeah.
It did. So Ruthie explains to the family that her friend Yasmin is in danger. And she needed a safe place to be. Some boys were following Yasmin and they were scaring her. And Ruthie stuck up for her, but that didn't deter them at all. They just followed them both.
Yep.
Mom sends everyone away, and she talks to Yasmin to try to comfort her. So it's just a setup for the show.
Yeah.
Like I said, this episode is actually really easy to do because it's got one main plot with a couple of divergences.
Right.
So we're not like the brother-sister kiss time, and then the dog looking for a boy time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh boy.
Every 3 seconds.
And the parents don't swap problems.
Right.
So we're back inside, and Lucy is crying a little bit about how mean and intolerant people can be, and how rude she was to Mary. Like, they can do it, and I could do it to you because you didn't even do anything, and I was just really upset.
I know. They're really good communicators sometimes.
They are. But also, like, she's being histrionic.
Yeah, right. It's the opposite of how my family worked. For a while, at least.
For her part, Mary is pissed, and she wants to get vengeance on those boys. And so she has an idea, but we'll find out what it is later. Apparently, Mary is well known at this point for making wacky plans, so it should be fun. Lucy literally says, It's been a while since a wacky Mary plan.
Yeah. Do you remember any of that being a thing?
No.
No? Okay.
I think, like, of the 5 kids, because the twins never count, of the 5 kids, Mary is always one I would think of as like, oh yeah, she's got some hairbrained scheme. Yeah. But it's never, like, normal.
She's also kind of pointed out to be kind of dumb in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a thing that was a thing? She was just stupid because, like, what was it that...
She says, like, some words.
Pilfer. She's used the word pilfer. And, like, do you even know what that means? Mary's like, that's not the point, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, you don't... What?
Don't deny it.
You're 20 years old.
If you can't define it, don't deny it.
There it is, yeah.
She's like, what are you, Johnny Cochran? That's not how this works. Yeah, so they're making a point that Mary's kind of dumb now. A lot's changed in 5 years. We don't know exactly.
Yeah.
But presumably Mary's not that bright. That's what we know.
That's fine.
She's the dumb one in the family. Headstrong, but stupid. The boys, Matt and Simon, are throwing a football back and forth because this is how men relate to each other.
Yep.
As we learned from The Room.
Football and yelling. Yeah, that's true. The Room.
You cannot have a conversation with a man unless you're throwing a football.
Right.
Otherwise, what are you talking about?
Or baseball.
Were they throwing a baseball?
No, they were throwing a football, but...
okay. A baseball counts too, yeah.
Yeah, men have to be throwing some ball-shaped thing.
If they're going to have a conversation about their feelings.
Right.
But they are talking about their feelings, and they're upset about the same issue, and Matt plans on kicking their butts.
Yeah.
He may be studying to be a doctor, but he's going to give them a taste of their own medicine.
This is a very embarrassing scene for me to watch.
Oh, yeah.
This was...
And both of the boys work themselves into an ass-kicking lather.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to kick some butt!
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. Oh, God. And, like, you're going to get your ass handed to you. Even, like, when we find out later they're, like, middle schoolers, like, they'd still probably get beat up. Simon, at this point, also, in the series, has 2 earrings in one ear and the spike hair. Mm-hmm. And it's hard for me to look at him. Mm-hmm. It's embarrassing to look at him. He's trying so hard to be tough. He wears a leather jacket at some point in this... Mm-hmm. They can't make him look tough. He can't look tough.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
Dad tries to dissuade Matt from encouraging anyone to get violent because he's the oldest and he's the more influential one. He's like, don't be encouraging your siblings to get all violent and stuff. That's crazy. But Matt's convinced that a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Yeah. Embarrassing.
Yasmin's mom, the little Muslim girl, Yasmin's mom comes by to talk to the Camdens about the situation. Though they don't name it directly, 9/11 fucked up everything.
It did.
They didn't ever say it, which was weird to me.
It's still fucking up everything.
It is. It's been 17, 18 years.
Yeah, they just say, like, they'll allude to it being a more recent problem.
Right.
Like, this recently, in the last however long.
I guess at this point, like 3 months. The Camdens encourage her to enroll Yasmin in a private school on scholarship like Ruthie is. Because Ruthie, it should be noted, was dressed up in her private school getup.
Yep.
And she goes there on a scholarship. They're not actually paying for it because they couldn't afford it. And Eric is going to go talk to the school's principal to see if anything can be done. Mom asks Ruthie why she felt the need to keep it a secret. And Ruthie points out that she didn't know why anyone was chasing Yasmin at all, so she didn't really know who to go to for help.
Which is a good point to make.
It's like, I don't even know what the problem was. So I was just like, I'll do something.
Right.
Which, perfectly fair, I think.
Yeah.
She's like, apparently these people are pissed. You could be pissed. I don't know. Yeah. I'm saving my friend.
I just wanted her to be cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, good.
Good on you, little one.
Good on you, little one. Good old Ruthie. She has lost her curls.
Is it straightened in this?
Yeah, it's straightened. Hardcore.
Oh.
When Ruthie was older, she straightened her hair out.
They shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. I think the actual...
She's too young to put in that amount of time. Does her mom do it for her?
I don't
She has
know.
thick hair. That takes forever.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, the actual actress was a little annoyed at the curls.
Oh, really?
That, like, especially because she got a lot of attention for them.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, fuck it! Ah!
Full to Felicity.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, fuck
she
you!
didn't shave her head.
Yeah, it's true.
Which, if she wanted to, is fine, too. You can
That's
shave
true.
your head.
Shave your head. Simon has done some recon on the jerks that are harassing Yasmin, and he's going to go meet Matt tomorrow to go asshole hunting. They don't say that, but I'm saying that, and it's also the name of my new dating sim.
Asshole hunting?
Asshole hunting.
Ew.
Hunt for assholes. For what, you say? Mind your business.
There is no lack of that.
The parents finally get some time to themselves as all the kids are busy with their own stuff, and they talk about the potential of Yasmin going to Ruthie's school. The principal was receptive to the idea, so that's good. Mm-hmm. Mary and Lucy go door to door looking for signatures to support their Muslim neighbors. And the first guy they talk to gets weirded out when they mention that there are Muslims in the neighborhood.
I didn't know there were Muslims here. What street she on?
Yeah, what neighborhood or what street she's on?
Yeah.
They're like, what? No, we're not gonna... Okay, we're gonna leave.
This is the opposite of what... Yeah.
While talking to a friend at the bus stop, Simon comes across the two boys he thinks are responsible for the harassment campaign, the Jenkins jerks, who are brothers. After 24 houses, the girls have had no luck in finding anyone to sign their petition because people are dumb. Mm-hmm. Matt gets a phone call from little brother Simon and is pretty sure that their dad is currently in the clinic that he works at. His last name is Jenkins. He has brown hair. He looks somewhat like the kids.
This is all bizarro to me.
This is all weird because...
He's literally like, what color? Does he have brown hair? Yeah, I'm like, that's him.
Yeah.
That's the dad of these kids with brown hair.
Like, I get
they're being... Yeah.
I get the idea of rushing to this sort of thing, but there's no part of me who'd be like, well, they have the same name and they look alike, so clearly it's this, like, Jenkins is a very common name.
Well, they're making the point that anybody can be discriminated against.
Yeah.
Or like, this is jumping to conclusions based on the way somebody looks.
Like, you could do the metaphor without making your characters stupid.
Retarded. Yeah.
Like, it's very easy to just be like, here is where we had...
use the word retarded. Disabled. Nope, that's not good either. Stupid. Let's go with dumbasses.
Dumbasses. So, yeah, because you could easily write something where they do investigation work and they come to the wrong conclusion.
Right.
Which is very similar, except now they just draw random conclusions. But, oh, they both have brown hair, their name is Jenkins. Must be the same people.
This one was wearing a hat.
He has a hat on! Like, people can't change their hats? Their outfits?
It's the early 2000s. Everyone's wearing a beanie.
That's a point they made in the episode.
Yeah.
But it's like, at what point do you think, like, if you saw him in a red shirt, and the next day you see a guy in a red shirt, are you like, oh, it's that guy. He didn't change his shirt. Hats are no different. You can have multiple hats. And if you don't have to wear it every day.
Nondescript hat.
Like, let's say the police catch the guys.
Yeah.
They get an ID. Or they ask Simon, like, hey, Simon, is this the guy? He's like, oh, man, it looks exactly like him, but this guy's not wearing a hat.
Yeah, not him.
Not him. He's not wearing a hat.
It's only a hat guy.
Like, oh, Simon, you're an idiot. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just weird to me.
No, it was off. It was so stupid. That whole side plot was so stupid.
There's a reason we identify people, criminals and stuff, on the news and stuff, with things you can't change, like tattoos, scars, even your skin color.
Eye
although
color.
They always just go with
Height.
black.
Height, eye color, yeah.
Like, he's 6 feet tall and he's black. Go get him.
He's probably...
Whereas if it's a white guy.
Just grab a random...
If it's a white guy, they're like, he's 5'9", he's white, he's got tattoos on both arms, they look like snakes spitting fire.
Close set eyes.
Close set eyes.
Tooth.
He's got a scar on his nose. It's real bad. But that's white dudes. Black guys, 6 feet tall, black guy. Go get him.
Brown eyes.
Yeah, brown eyes. Yo, black guy, 6 feet tall with blue eyes.
Yeah.
That's at least narrowing it down.
Do-rag. Get him.
He might have a do-rag in his house.
Somewhere, yeah.
Not necessarily on him. Just he might have a do-rag.
He was wearing one at the time. It's somewhere in his property.
If you see a guy who might have a do-rag,
yeah.
get him.
There you go. Police work.
Good old news. The principal of the private school shows up at Dad's office to deliver bad news. The board has rejected the request to admit Yasmin because they got calls from concerned parents about having a Muslim in the school. Apparently, California. There's no other Muslims.
Is this in California?
Yeah, they live in California.
I didn't know that.
Glen Oak. A made-up place, but still California.
Yeah, well, wherever they live is deeply white.
Yes, it is.
We don't really come across any people of color.
Oh, yeah. There's the cop.
Oh, right.
And
that
Yasmin.
one cop. Yeah. In this episode.
In this episode.
Right.
There were no non-white people in the first episode. Although it was family-oriented, so.
Still. Yeah. The neighbor, Eileen Brennan, could have been.
Could have been. The principal has done her best, but she can't do it on her own. But she set up a meeting for the board members and parents to talk about it. She's hoping that Ruthie will go and speak there, because maybe a child can get through to them in a way another adult cannot. Ironically, it's Mary and Lucy's petition that warned the people about Yasmin going to the school in the first place.
Yes.
So in a clever bit of irony,
yeah,
they're the ones who made this worse.
Everyone knows there's a Muslim because they were trying to get support for her.
Yes.
Yeah. Ugh. White people are terrible. And one Asian.
And one Asian woman, who we will get back to.
Right.
Back at the clinic, the Jenkins' dad is a real asshole. He's in a hurry, you see, and he has better things to do than wait for the doctors.
And hates women.
And hates women, because when he's deservedly sassed by the nurse, he uses it as an example of why women shouldn't be working.
Right.
He's just like, this is what happens. Instead of doing their jobs, they get a bee in their bonnet and sass me instead.
Yeah, well, at least we don't say bee in our bonnet.
He doesn't quite use that, but he says something
No, he says
that.
bee in your bonnet.
Did he really?
Yeah, I think he did,
Man.
yeah.
Matt calls him a Muslim hater under his breath. So now the Jenkins dad wants to see his supervisor. Part of the reason Matt says this is because if the boys are the boys who have been harassing her, they must have gotten it from somewhere.
Right.
Especially because kids don't
More
tend to
presumptions.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's somewhat fair. Most kids, like if you have a racist child...
No, but he's like building on presumptions.
Yeah.
So like he's just adding more.
Yeah. If you have a racist child, it's very unlikely they came to that conclusion on their own.
Right. You were not born racist.
You're not
no
born
one is born racist.
But he is just adding stuff on top of this that he doesn't actually have any proof for yet.
Right.
Except that they're Jenkins, they're a bunch of jerks, and he's a Jenkins.
Yep.
Mary and Lucy go back to see one of the women who rejected them, asking her to re-sign the petition. And this is the Japanese woman that Hillary mentioned just a second ago. And the woman is a little bit older. She's old enough to have been alive in World War II, essentially. And she tells them what it was like for people like her, of Japanese descent, during World War II and the internment camps.
Yes, in America.
She was hesitant to sign the petition because she didn't want to put her name on anything that might get her blacklisted by the government again.
Right.
So for her...
It's very logical.
It's very logical. I think it's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, you're like, if it can happen once, it can happen again. And like, the girl's reaction is, it won't happen again. We're like, okay. Oh, honey.
Aw.
It will literally happen forever until we all die.
Now, this makes sense for this one woman. And I think it's supposed to make us sympathetic to the neighbors, maybe?
I don't think so.
Because it doesn't. Everyone else is a bunch of cowards.
Yeah.
Privileged
Ignorant cowards. Yeah.
Because this woman has an excuse. I don't want to put another cam. I'm not... And she still does, by the way.
And she still ends up
she stands
being
up.
supportive, yeah.
But the other white people they talk to...
No.
It's like, oh, there's brown people in the neighborhood.
Yeah. My kids.
My kids might talk to people that are brown.
Oh, God.
So fuck them.
Yeah.
What Mary's scheme should be is to burn their houses down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone didn't sign that petition? Burn your house down. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Haha. Guess what? White people did it. Now, Matt gets a phone call from the family's cop friend, a black guy,
Mm-hmm.
He is in multiple episodes. This is not the first time. As you can probably tell.
I can tell he was a regular.
And he reports that they have caught the kids who were harassing Yasmin. This time, they had confused a Sikh for a Muslim. Because Sikhs wear turbans and...
Right.
People who don't know anything about other cultures will easily make that mistake.
Right. Like the guy at Trader Joe's not that long ago who got really mad because he saw a bumper sticker and exclaimed loudly as I was walking by him, "Look, like it's even written in Muslim." Like, because it was like I think it was a pro-Obama sticker or something like that. It was in, what was it? Hebrew. So not, like, it was layers of wrong.
I guarantee you, that guy...
He didn't even know the word Sanskrit. He's just like, it's written in Muslim.
Well, Arabic isn't Sanskrit.
Isn't it? No, Arabic. Right.
But still, he didn't know Arabic.
Right.
I guarantee you, sight unseen, that guy is a strong supporter of Israel.
Yep.
But he sees Hebrew and he's like, goddamn Muslim!
Yeah. It's exactly what happened. And I had to bite my tongue because I can't fix dumb.
I don't know if I could have.
Did ruin my day, though. That was fun.
The boys they've caught have been positively ID'd by Yasmin, but it turns out that they were not the Jenkins boys at all. So now Matt feels bad because he profiled their dad just like he thought boys were doing to Muslims. Mm-hmm. So that's the metaphor they're going for.
Yep.
In the most hand-fisted way possible.
Right.
And I don't, the metaphor's fine. Just why you gotta do it so poorly?
Idiotic.
Yeah. So back at home. Nope, we're not back at home yet. I skipped an entire paragraph. At the school board meeting, the principal points out how stupid it is to reject Yasmin based on her ethnicity and religion. And a nice white man comes up to say that he isn't a racist or a bigot in any way. Right. But if enrolling Yasmin is controversial, why bother doing it at all?
They pay good money to not be around brown people.
They've never had a Muslim at the school before, so why bother doing it now if it'll put other kids in jeopardy? Remember, he's not a racist and he's not a bigot.
Right.
His own words, so clearly we have to believe him.
If you say it, then it's true.
I'm just saying this racist, dumb, ill-informed bullshit.
Right.
This 9-year-old girl is going to threaten my children for being a Muslim.
I feel like she should have been there. Like, if they could look at how, just small and innocent with her little glasses.
Big-ass glasses.
They're like little oval glasses. I mean, granted, if I put those on, it would look like granny glasses because she was a very small child.
Yeah.
But yeah, big glasses for her frame.
Right. He gets applause from a room full of fellow non-bigots.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
Because he said it.
So there's a lot of not racist people in that room.
And I mean, really, we can't even fault them. They're not racist or bigots.
Right.
Their words. Another totally not a bigot points out that she doesn't even want to be here because clearly there's a problem with this girl and she'd rather be doing anything else anyway.
Right.
She is not, of course, doing anything else because she was arrested and forced into this room to talk to the board members.
Right. Why am I even here?
You're like, I don't know, bitch. Why are you here? Is the answer.
Yeah.
This is why I do not get put in positions of authority. Because if someone said, why am I even here? I'd be like, bitch, you came.
Yeah.
We did not force you. Why are you here?
Why? Did you not remember your drive over? Did you black out?
Did someone knock you out and kidnap you?
Right. Are you asking because you've lost the last hour of your life?
Because we have medical personnel.
Right, exactly. You might be concussed.
Because your husband beat you. Is this a different conversation we need to be having? But now Ruthie comes up and she makes her own speech. She says she loves the school. She thinks it's pretty damn cool. She gets to play with horses. And she says that she's not certain that she'll be able to hold her head up high if the school rejects Yasmin.
Well, she also goes into the whole... Well, were you about to say more?
No, go ahead.
She, goes into this whole, speech about Eleanor Roosevelt because the school's named after Eleanor Roosevelt. Mm-hmm. And how open and accepting Eleanor Roosevelt was and her work with civil liberties, which makes sense. And this is a wicked smart speech for presumably 11-year-old.
I think she's 11, yeah.
Yeah.
Ruthie crushed these
She
people.
crushed it. Yeah. And ended on crickets.
Yeah. No one says anything. She
had to tell her parents to clap, essentially. She'd be like, nothing? This is the end of my speech. And her parents like, oh, okay.
We're not done yet. Because she, after the Eleanor Roosevelt part, she ultimately concludes that if the board doesn't change their mind and let Yasmin into the school, and they insist on being a bunch of poozers, she'll quit.
Yeah.
And the board members are fine with this, as is the audience. So Ruthie's out the door.
Yeah, no, she's like, oh, did you not hear me? I'll quit. And you hear, like, two of the board members lean into each other like, do we care that she's quitting?
We can get our, they say we can get our scholarship money back.
We can get our scholarship money back.
And the other one
we can put it on somebody else, the long list of people waiting to come to this school.
She's got a friend who's looking to get her kid in the school.
You're right. Yeah, they literally do not care.
So like, all right, bye.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's a thing that happened.
Yep.
And then, like you said, her parents are the only people who get up and clap. And the principal.
Yeah.
And
one of her teachers or something.
One of the teachers. But yeah, so like 6 people in the room were like, yay!
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, oh. Which, okay, so I get that this is super white bread California. But there would be more than 0 people, right?
I believe that. But granted, it's been a long, like, the post 9/11 country was really bizarre.
Yeah,
it was bizarro, and I was constantly disappointed and surprised.
Yeah, you're right.
So maybe not, but I think so. There would be more than 6.
Okay, so back at home, the family as a whole is super proud of Ruthie, who is a little annoyed that she now has to change schools. But despite being told that she's allowed to stay if she wants, she is inspired by Eleanor Roosevelt to follow through.
She's a tiny badass, and I like her.
She's a tiny little badass. Matt yells at Simon for getting him the wrong information, despite the fact that Matt was the one who decided to be the tough guy in the first place. Simon gets in his face.
Yeah. And
they almost come to blows, and they realize they're being a pair of hypermasculine poozers.
Yeah, I'm glad they had that realization. I was like, what are you doing?
He's like, were you going to fight me?
Were you just about to hit me? It was good. I like that moment.
It's like, I don't know, maybe.
I think it was. Like, it was a good moment.
Like, what's happening? Mom and Dad are up to something. On the phone, making plans, talking about stuff. And Annie says that she's ready for tomorrow. Something's happening.
Something's happening.
They're super proud of their kids in general, because everyone tried to help in some way. And the plan is in motion. So the next day, we see Eric go to meet the imam. And they intercept Yasmin's dad at his place of business. We learned earlier that he's been really sick and hasn't been able to work a lot. But the 2 men are here to do the work for him that he's too sick to do.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
But that's not the only plan. Because back at home, the principal of Eleanor Roosevelt Private School and one of the teachers that was clapping for Ruthie show up at the door, and they're both quitting their jobs to join Ruthie at her new school. Because they don't want to be part of any faculty of a place that's so prejudicial.
Yep.
Just pretty good move.
Yeah, that's rad.
I like these two. The one woman's not leaving till the end of the year, but she's doing her best.
Right. Well, it's also kind of one of those things. It's like you still have to be a responsible adult. Yeah, there are kids there that need you. And
yeah, but the principal's able to leave right away, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That was weird, but
no, yeah, but she's stepping down. Like, she's taking a big pay cut. She's not going to be principal of the new school. Mm-hmm. She's going back to teaching, which is awesome because she's about to get paid nothing.
Right. So Yasmin comes by, and her mother. And everyone is very excited for the big event, whatever it is. And then we find out, as they walk outside, joined by Simon, Mary, Lucy, and the Japanese woman that they spoke with earlier, and a bunch of other people that Annie has called in, they leave the house in an act of unity in support of Yasmin's family. And it's all very touching and very special.
It is, but also, where were these people when the petition was being signed?
Happening?
Yeah, no, when the petition was being signed, like, because it seemed like the girls went around to everybody close by. Mm-hmm. And nobody signed the petition, and everybody was a dick about it. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, like, the mom makes a few phone calls, and out of the woodwork comes all of these willing white people.
I mean, it's still not a crazy amount. It's like, a lot. It's like 24 people. But, I mean, that's not nothing.
It's not nothing. Yeah.
Because Lucy and Mary went to 24 houses. We know this because they said.
Oh.
We've been to 24 houses. So it's like 24, at least 24 people.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah, no one.
Whew. Rough.
Yeah. I'd say unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a little over the top.
Right.
Like, you'd at least be like, 3 people. Only 3 people.
Right, yeah.
Alright, episode's over. So it's time for the best and worst for this one.
Best is Ruthie's a little badass and I love her.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you there.
A little precocious.
That's my best.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Ruthie being great.
Yeah. Worst is the entire subplot of Matt and Simon being macho.
Yeah.
It was so cringy.
Yeah.
And uncomfortable.
My worst is going to be Yasmin's acting.
That's a good point. I literally said, like, my brother watched this episode with me because he loved Seventh Heaven back in the day, so this was a joy for him. And I, like, as soon as she came on screen, like, the first time I'm like, they couldn't find a child actor that could do anything.
Yeah, like could say a line.
They couldn't find a brown child actor. Was that the problem? Because she could, like, I don't know if maybe this kid won a contest to be on the show or something. But she didn't. She could not.
No, she
deliver a line.
She was bad.
She whispered, like, I could barely understand her.
Like, she's supposed to have this big line towards the beginning.
Yeah.
Where, like, why don't you just take a different route to school? Or, like, wait.
Yeah.
She's like, I will not let them frighten me. Or something like that.
Was so, just so wooden.
I was like, God, come on, girl. Like, this is your big moment.
Right.
Like, I will not. They will not change my life.
Excellent choice. That was an excellent choice for worst. Because it was,
Something, anything.
Yeah, there's plenty of child actors out there. You can find Muslim actors. Yeah.
It didn't even have to be particularly good.
Yeah.
She was very bad.
Very, very, very bad.
Yeah, so that's all. I was just like, she only had like 4 lines in the whole show.
And ruined all of them.
So it didn't like really detract from much.
Yeah, but hers were supposed to be a little more poignant than the others.
That's what
Yeah, which,
like literally, I will not let them change my life.
That is lines.
That is an acting line. You're supposed to get in there.
Yeah.
Give me some emotion.
Right.
Anything.
I will not let them make me change my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, oh, I like your sentiment. I just really wish you had expression.
Chutzpah. Let's get some chutzpah up there.
Hey. You have to be respectful.
Oh, is that Hebrew?
Yeah. Just fucking... Alright, so we've seen 2 episodes of Seventh Heaven. These are probably the first 2 you've seen, in detail at least.
I mean, any I saw didn't stick to my memory, so I can't tell you.
So what do we have our final thoughts on this show?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great show. Whatever. I love a lot of shows that aren't great shows.
Right. This is what I mean. I somehow find the show appealing.
Yeah.
Despite it being overly saccharine and really wholesome and kind of irritating for all those reasons.
Right.
Something about it just like, I like the show.
It's still a feel good.
It's feel good.
It is feel good.
I just want to feel good.
And it's nice to think that there are people like this somewhere. You know?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be friends with them.
Oh no, I couldn't hang out with them.
Yeah, but it's nice to know they exist.
Yeah, they're out there doing some good.
Hopefully.
While I'm sleeping. Barry Watson had cancer later. I remember that. That's like the only thing I knew. I just remember him being photographed a lot without any hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had my cancer.
Same one, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you told me that.
Mm-hmm. So, take that, Matt. Maybe he did get cancer out of spite for his dad.
Holy shit! He called it.
Called it, cacao.
Yeah, Barry Watson, write in. Let us know.
Let us know if that's what the plan was.
Was this spite cancer?
Okay, Hillary.
Yeah.
It's time to talk about what we're doing next week.
Oh, man. We're doing God's Not Dead 3. How excited are you right now?
Super hype.
Have you seen this one?
Of course, I saw it in theaters.
Oh, that's right. But this is the one that we couldn't get because it wasn't released yet.
Right.
Okay, that's what it was. Fuck.
God's Not Dead 3 came out yesterday when this episode goes up.
Yeah.
So give us a week and we'll have it completed, the trilogy. We'll be done.
Oof. I like the idea of being done. So in that case, okay.
I think you're going to find the third one not good.
Tolerable?
Not necessarily tolerable, but refreshing in a way that you're not going to expect.
Okay.
You're going to find it possibly interesting.
Big words.
Yeah, you'll see.
Okay.
I don't want to give anything away, but let's just say...
I'm not going to let myself raise my expectations.
Yeah, but let's just say that it does not go the way you might expect.
Does it end in mass suicide?
No.
Oh, well, that would have been great.
That would be great. Yeah, so that's what we're doing next week.
All right.
I'm going to... The one thing we did forget when we were watching God's Not Dead 2 was you had mentioned you didn't get all the way to the end.
Right.
And I forgot to make you watch the mid-credits scene where they do the hook for God's Not Dead 3. So obviously... We're going to do that, and we'll just do it now as part of our preview for this episode.
Okay.
So here's that is. So, what we know is that there's going to be an extended universe or supposed to be, Extended Universe of God's Not Dead movies.
Uh-huh.
Because that was in the middle of the credits, after the credits of the second movie.
So does that lead into the third movie?
Yes, it's supposed to.
It's supposed to, but... Oh, we haven't watched it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so does that motivate you to want to see the third one?
No, nothing will ever motivate me to want to see the third movie.
And yet, you're gonna have to.
I know, and I'm fucking dealing with it, okay? Ugh.
But I just wanted to make sure that you got that, because I forgot about it at the end of the last one. I didn't even see it myself again. So I want to make sure we got it just for you.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, I'm a giver.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. And remember, as always, if you like the show, please give us some of those 5-star reviews on whatever podcast app or service you are using. And tell your friends about us any way that you can. Text, email, words with your face.
Yeah.
Write it on their arms while they sleep.
Telepathy.
Telepathy's good. Links to everything are in the description of this episode, our social media and all that. And you can please go to the website and send us a comment or question so that we can have a mailbag segment.
Yeah.
That's all I want in life.
Mm-hmm.
Just answer your crazy questions on air.
Or
just yell at me.
Tell us we're wrong.
Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not, but tell me I am.
Fix it. Fix us.
As always, thanks so much for listening.
Thank you.
And bye!
Harmony.